Kansas. Welcome, race fans, one and all, back to Green Flag TV for the final race of our triple header from Tuesday through Thursday here at one of NASCAR's most dangerous racetracks. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Highline Diecast Collectibles Cup Series and to Green Flag TV. My name is Ola Brown. We'll bring you all of racing action from start to finish here this afternoon as we get set to duke it out for yet another thriller here this afternoon. It's going to be a wild one. Welcome to the Tim Branson's All Elite Wrestling 130 here this afternoon. Lots to talk to entering racing action here on Thursday night. Let's start with the main championship, shall we, as we only have 2 races to go before the regular series season draws to a close. Cosmo Inochu stands atop the boards. Minazzi Major is situated just down behind him, but it started to turn all eyes down towards 10th place in the points. Right now, Jeremiah Vincent, Stephen Gibson separated by 3 points on the grid. Josiah Vincent, though, only 7 points back. He is needing to have a lot of good runs here to catch up, but right now Vincent is in the hot seat, and it could very well close in the gap. Keep eyes out for Garrett Austin as well. Austin is been having quite a few good races as well this season. Could he potentially be a major threat to win, to fight his way into the chase season here this afternoon? More importantly, tonight, though, it is the final race of the mid-season tournament. The winner of that tournament tonight will be getting a $50 gift card to Highline Diecast Collectibles, and right now it is Minazzi Major that stands atop the boards. Only about 17 points back, though, is Jason Garcia, who is also very, very keen on wanting to try and have a run for himself here as well. So several drivers are going to be in it to win in here this afternoon with a lot on the line, right? $50 gift card, that can get you quite a bit for Highline Diecast Collectibles, and I'm sure that several drivers here are going to be keen to see if they can potentially run their way in to get that $50 gift card here this afternoon. And in fact, speaking of Highline Diecast Collectibles, they are, of course, the ones that bring you all of racing action here this afternoon for Season 5 of the Speed Cup Series. Your go-to source for high-quality NASCAR diecast and memorabilia. Whether you're hunting for the latest releases, rare finds, or looking to sell your own collection, they have got you covered. Plus, don't miss their live auctions every week on Facebook, where you can score incredible deals on must-have collectibles. Follow them along at facebook.com/HLD Collectibles today. And Racing Action tonight also brought to you by Twisted Steel Steak Appeal. Twisted Steel Steak Appeal by Marty Pluto is a solid punch of sweet and a heat flavor that lingers to let you know it's there. Marty Pluto is an award-winning Steak Cook-Off Association chef and has finally revealed his secret recipe rub to blow you away with flavor. Steak, veggies, fish, pork, and poultry. Twisted Steel Steak Appeal is a rub above the rest. All of this as qualifying is going to draw to a close here this afternoon, and racing action set to kick off in just a few minutes. So I think it's about high time that we take a rundown and see who is going to be starting where as we get set to go racing for yet another round. Kansas Speedway has long been a race full of excitement, and is no doubt going to be just as action-packed here this afternoon with over 30 cars taken to the grid. Starting on pole position, it's Nicholas Cote. He starts with the next level racing number 17 alongside Justin Mello down in number 2. From there, second row of the grid, it's going to be Eric Hudson with the Dave's Hot Chicken number 11. He starts alongside Stephen Kirby. Row 3 on the grid, it's Colton Easterday. The outlier, number 95, will be starting in 5th place. He is alongside Zach Williams. Moving on back through the field to row number 4, it's going to be Ronnie Norman. Amsoil number 32, Camry starting in 7th alongside the Twisted Steel Steak Appeal number 81 of Martin Plouffe for Twisted Steel Motorsports down in 8th. Top 10 closed out by Stephen Gibson for Sim HQ right now on the bum spot with only 2 races to go in the regular series season. He is alongside the bow ties number 97 of Joey Barrett. Row 6, it's Kyle Holden. The Simrap market number 88 starts alongside Jesse Gordon in the Matmobile. Row number 7 on the grid, it's Zach Hinson with the Harris Tools number 58 alongside the Real Train number 4 of Josiah Vincent. Row 8, Matt Montembeau out of Canada down in number 28. He starts 15th alongside Caleb Bass in 16th. 17th place is Ethan Amberg alongside Scott Leonard. Moving into the back half of the field, Nate Cotilla now starts in 19th spot. He is alongside Philip Scott. From there, you got Garrett Austin and Ryan Newman. Continuing on down through the pack, it's Stacy Hunter, Mark McFadden, Jason Shue, Corey Hutchinson, Jeffrey Reed, Arabia Caton, Jeremiah Vincent, Cosmo Inoshu, Ryan Shelton, Manatzi Major, Stan Hausman, and Tim Branson will close out a 34-car field here this afternoon. Bottom 3 cars not putting down qualifying laps. Gonna again have to make this for a little bit of an effort here this afternoon, as several drivers here are in it to win it. That mid-season tournament going to be a hotly contested one here throughout the course of the afternoon. Field going to work their way into turn numbers 3 and 4 here this afternoon, and we are happy that you are joining us for more racing action on this fantastic Thursday night. The RC pace car pulls down into pit road. Time to get the party started. It's the final race in the regular series season here this afternoon. It's go, go, go at Kansas. Coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be Nicholas Coe leading lap number 1 to green here this afternoon. Everybody else filing out and back through the field. Up to the top side is going to be the 109 of Stephen Kirby, trying to pull clear as up into the outside wall. He is going to go here to kick things off this afternoon. But to his inside is, of course, the 88 of Kyle Holden. And Stephen Kirby's got an issue as he is stumbling through the field, slipping back quickly. They went 3 wide to split him for a moment. And it looks like Kirby may have finally figured out what's going on, as that car finding life once more. Fastest lap of the race right now held by Eric Hudson. Oh, and around, gonna go Matt Montembeau right in the middle of the pack. Slides up the racetrack, up into the outside wall, and flying in. One car absolutely cratering the outside wall was Ryan Shelton. And the Bakari Sweat number 99 slides to the inside line on fire. Gosh, that was a brutal lick into the outside wall. That all kicked off with Matt Montembeau. Looked like he lost it all by himself. Coming down to the turn number 1. Take a look. Nick Cotilla on the inside of the number 28. Tries to clear from Caleb Bass, and I think got hooked coming into the corner and then overcorrected. Back end comes around, nowhere for Scott Leonard to go. Garrett Austin takes a whack into the outside wall, and then in comes Ryan Shelton. Oh, man, a hard hit for the 15 on the inside. And then right here, watch the 99 slam into the wall. Also involved, there you see the 19, the 21 of Corey Hutchinson involved. Jeffrey Reed has a lot of damage. At speed. Man, that car just goes on him. There's Reed getting involved, and golly, that is a hit for Ryan Shelton. Tough break for Shelton. Was hoping for a good afternoon here tonight. He's not going to find one, as Vincent Motorsports number 99 is going to be watching this one from the sidelines. It looked like they kind of started to wreck further up the grid as well. This is a look from the air coming into the corner. The 28 just swings around. Shelton with a hard hit, and then up front, oh yeah, there was another crash. And I do believe that is Mark McFadden. The number 22 going around. So McFadden also getting involved. Tough break again for the Canadian as McFadden is going to find himself facing the wrong direction. Had a miss down the inside, but the car just lost all stability on the apron when he hit the transition up and into the outside wall hard. Tough way to kick off this race here as Nicholas Coate will be the driver to lead the field back to green. Well, this race was looking set to be a pretty good one here this afternoon, and well, not so much for drivers in this field here as they are going to be on the backslide. As there we go, I think we got things sorted now. But Nicholas Coate with the lead of the race still. Justin Mello will start to his outside. 34 cars all started this race, and already we are down to just 29 on the racetrack after a brutal crash in turn 2. Garrett Austin will make it 30. Field going to make their way into turn numbers 3 and 4. And we'll get set to do it all over again. Green flag up in the air this time by. Once again, Stephen Kirby up to the outside wall as Ronnie Norman tries to skate through down to the bottom lane. Norman down to the inside, Kirby up on the outside. Kyle Holden is going to manage to fend him off. We got trouble behind as Nate Cotilla getting up into the outside wall. Cotilla going to drop back to the field, looking like he's been able to more or less gather it up, but near issues once again coming out of turn 4 early. Gibson, meanwhile, under fire from Martin Plute, as Plute going to try to look to the inside. Gibson again remaining just to his outside. For second place, Eric Hudson is to the inside of to the outside of Justin Mello. Mello going to lose out on the number 2 spot, and Eric Hudson looking to make a drive to the point early on here. He's going to get the nose in, going around the outside of Nicholas Coate. Coate retains with the inside lane. Hudson going to now be in a battle of his own up on the top. All the way up to the outside wall for Eric Hudson as he tries to fight this one out with Coate, and fight it out he will as Nicholas Coate dropping back here this afternoon. He's going to lose out the lead of the race. Hudson is clear with the lead. Deeper in the pack, Martin Plute, Josiah Vincent, both looking to attack Jesse Gordon. This here, the battle for the 10th place spot, final spot inside the top 10. Plute going to try to go up around the outside. He's got Jesse Gordon still in front, and to the inside of Plute in the sweep, Josiah Vincent! Look out as Jesse Gordon gets a little bit loose in turn 2. This track is a bit of a loose one here this afternoon. No one's really feeling too confident. It's only at 90 degrees Fahrenheit, so effectively within the reasonable operating temperature for the racetrack. But Kansas has always been a bit of a multi-groove, looser racetrack. As look at Jesse Gordon up into the outside wall, flying too close to the sun. He's going to scrub off a ton of speed. Jesse Gordon going to go down the inside, and he might be attacked as well by Zach Hinson. Right behind him with the Matco Tools, number 58. Overall, a stellar opening bout, though. Plenty of side-by-side action everywhere you look. Ethan Ambert trying to go down the inside of Hinson as well to try and make some ground. He is not able to find any such ground. Caleb Bass will now go down the inside of Philip Scott. Scott clears up top. And Bass is going to try to slip through. Caleb Bass going to continue to try to fight that outside groove, and in the midst of this is points runner Menatze Major, and Major right now leading again the mid-season tournament points. Now, his closest competitor is Jason Gracias. Now, Gracias, at the moment, he is not here tonight. And critically, Ryan Shelton is out of the race. So, Major's next closest competition is Stephen Gibson, who right now runs all the way up in the 9th place spot. But that's not enough to usurp Menatze Major. Right now, Major effectively has won the mid-season tournament unless he finishes outside of the top 25 effectively. Martin Cliff push up for the inside line. Josiah Vincent all the way up top of the real tree number 4. Going to try to make some ground. Eric Hudson has not been able to break away with the lead of this race. And in fact, he now has Nicholas Coate looking for the inside line. Right aboard with Coate. He's got that 11 up on the top lane. And the Dave's Hot Chicken number 11 going to be losing pace here in the short run. So looking like Hudson, very much a short run car, while Coate has gotten himself outfitted for longer pace. And Nicholas Coate drives back to the lead. Justin Mello is still waiting in the wings. He's right behind this grouping as well. Patiently biding his time for the FTF Racing number 53. Joey Barrett, meanwhile, oh, hello, 3 wide with Rodney Norman and Kyle Holden now. And he's going to back out from the middle line, so Kyle Holden taking a bit of a wise approach there. Backing out from the middle of the groove as they were looking to go 3 wide. Rodney Norman got real high out of 2. I'm pretty sure may have caught the wall a little bit as well. And while I said Nicholas Coate was looking to hold on to the lead, but he's got Eric Hudson trying to run him down again. So Hudson is not content to run second place here. Problems for Jason Shu as Shu has taken a toe to pit row. There's been a big incident deeper in the field, and Josiah Vincent, oh, look out, Vincent sideways up the racetrack and hard into the outside wall with Menatze Major. Vicious crash for the real tree number 4. Well, first, what happened to Jason Shu? Now, this did not bring out a caution flag. Whatever happened here, he's got Ryan Newman right behind him. Shu's got, oh, that's a hardware failure for sure as he spun sideways up the racetrack and hard into the outside wall. And then just seconds later, Josiah Vincent having a very similar looking crash. He lost control, though, down on the apron. Spun sideways, overcorrected, and now he's on a 4-tire lockup trying to keep it off the racetrack, but that car is going, and it's not stopping. Major with nowhere to go. A brutal hit against the outside wall in turn 1. Those are two incredibly violent impacts that we just witnessed. Bam! Take a look. If we're going to watch both incidents happen here, watch Jason Shu. Shu's got Ryan Newman right behind him. And yeah, Shu just lost it by himself as well. Up the racetrack, hard into the outside wall. He's going to slide all the way down the racetrack and go hard into the inside wall. And then moments later, on the same lap but down on the apron, Josiah Vincent losing the back end, spins out up the racetrack, hard into the outside wall, and collects Minazzi Major. So 2 more cars out of the race, and critically, that is the main points contender for the in-season tournament. All of a sudden, Minazzi Major is down and out. So that means Stephen Gibson, effectively unopposed, will pick up the points lead for the $50 gift card. His main contender right now is the race leader, Nicholas Coate. And because, again, it's points and a quarter being awarded here for those mid-season tournament points, Coate's got the points lead now. Talk about a dramatic shakeup. That is so weird of those 2 cars coming around. I mean, right, again, we look at the weather, not a lot of wind. You'd think there'd be major crosswinds pushing on the doors of those cars. There wasn't any. I don't know what the heck caused that. Well, a violent crash for the second caution flag of the night. Coate going to try to make something happen here as Justin Mello sits up on the outside line. Stephen Kirby in the 109 right behind. Green flag back in the air as racing action resumes. With still 106 laps to go. Nicholas Coate again with the Ryan Newman and Associates Remax Pole Award. Retaking that race lead now as he pulls clear the head of the field. Justin Mello and Stephen Kirby side by side for second. While he starts to open up the gap, other drivers are double file and now looking for 3 wide as Gibson tries to go down the inside of Colton Easterday. And Eric Hudson up to the outside of Easterday. And the outlier, number 95, to the inside of Eric Hudson. Hudson all the way up to the outside wall, able to keep it out of the fence, though. Easterday straddling the apron and now cuts back to the inside after nearly fencing the number 11. Oh, so Oh, close between the pair. As they head down to the turn numbers 3 and 4, Hudson again looking and ripping that outside line, trying to pull clear. But East today is not making it easy down low. I think finally, though, Hudson might have advantage. Oh, into the outside wall is Jesse Gordon. That causes Ronnie Norman to go evasive down to the bottom side. Martin Plute going to try to scramble down low. Jesse Gordon again catches the fence. Philip Scott up near that outside wall as well. Philip Scott alongside Joey Barrett. Barrett down on the inside line. Oh, and into the fence again for Scott. 3 wide now with Stephen Kirby. Caught in the middle of 3 wide. East Day down low. Hudson up top. They still can't get separated. And finally Hudson clears. .100 laps to go, this time by. Ronnie Norman up to the outside wall as he tries to find some momentum and pretty quickly getting single filed out here once more. Oh, look out, Jesse Gordon now spinning sideways. He's going to get hit by Martin Plute up the racetrack into the wall. Everyone looking like going to miss him. Oh, no, we got more trouble. It's the big one on the front straightaway. Stan Hausman, Ryan Newman, Caleb Bass, Josiah Vincent, Corey Hutchinson all involved. So a secondary crash on the front straightaway after Jesse Gordon lost control in turn 4. Take a look. He's right behind Steven Gibson, and back end just comes around on him. Martin Plute has nowhere to go. He's going to finish the job, but that car was already going around fully. Let's be honest here. Up into the outside wall. And, oh, right there, Philip Scott got into it with the 69 entry. Zach Hinson went into the infield, and then look at Josiah Vincent just lose control, or Jeremiah Vincent, sorry, he lost control up to the outside wall. Bass, Newman, Hausman, Hutchinson all getting involved as well. So it was really one thing led to the next, and it all culminates on the front straightaway. And again, the way that car just went, you would imagine a tire went down, but no, that was not the case. These race cars just extremely elusive. Gosh, that's a hit for the number 8 car as well. Plenty of drivers have come down pit road as a result of this. This is from up top. This is puzzling on what has been happening here this afternoon. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, this is unlike anything that I think I've ever seen in a race like this at Kansas. Well, looking like we're going to be in here for the long haul. 3 cautions in the first 33 laps, and each one has seen some pretty big hits. Started with Ryan Shelton cratering the outside wall in turn 2, followed by Jason Shoes slamming the outside wall, followed by Josiah Vincent slamming the outside wall, and now this, a multi-car crash out of turn 4 on the front straightaway. All of these seem to be happening in the realm from turn 4 down to turn 1, which is puzzling, because that seems to be a common denominator for incidents tonight, is on the front half of the racetrack. I just can't for the life of me pick out why. The track temp's good, air's good. It's got to be a setup thing, you'd imagine, right? Because, I mean, we saw the Premier Sim Racing Outlap Motorsports Truck Series here just last night, and the Mid-Atlantic Racing Series on Tuesday. None of them had these types of issues. Well, we'll work once again into the United Rentals restart zone. Green flag back in the air. And we'll see if we can put an end to the mystery. Tim Branson sliding backwards to the field. He may have had a bit of an issue on the restart. 3 wide. Cosmo Inoshu down to the inside of Zach Hinson. Ethan Amberg caught in the back. Nilko Attila trying to battle his way through. Zach Hinson in the mix. All the way around the top for Ethan Amberg here this afternoon. Attila squeeze it into 58. Hunting for the inside line as they remain 3 by 3 wide here. And Attila going to drop on the bottom. No, he slides to the racetrack. Contact hard into the outside wall for Amberg. Attila spins around. The hopes for a top 10 at his home track are dashed. Martin Plutus spinning out. Oh, we are still crashing over in turn 2. Ryan Newman gets involved. And that one started on the front stretch. Take a look back. As they try to go 3 wide, and oh, this was the lap before. So that was the lap prior. They were fine right there, and then Attila gonna come up the racetrack here. Kind of looked like he got loose again when he got on the flat, and man, Amberg smokes the outside wall. Hutchinson runs right into the back of Attila. That's what spins him out. Up into the outside wall. As the number 5 gonna lose control. And coming down the racetrack, where the heck does Ryan Newman get involved? Oh, up front, he got loose entering turn 1. And then he's gonna slide the back end out and just go right back into the outside wall. Amberg with a brutal crash there. As here comes Ryan Newman back on the racetrack, and yeah, that back end was never going to stay on the ground. On board with Amberg. And out of nowhere, oh! Heavy hit into the outside wall, and he had a front row seat to everything that happened after. I genuinely do not know what to make of this tonight. I mean, this has been such a strange race. Well, let's see if we can ask one of the drivers here in the field, as we will bring up Jesse Gordon into the broadcast booth, see if he can lend some insights here. Jesse, this car seems to not be in green with Kansas here tonight. What's going on out there?
Yeah, really, it's treacherous when you're behind, a couple cars or three cars, 2-3 wide. the arrow it makes him not just turn, just go straight into the wall. And then when it gets fresh open air on the nose, it just snaps loose without warning or anything. It's just really treacherous. It's hard to make passes, hard to make time, especially when you got guys in front of you that are 2-3 wide, you know. And yeah, that's basically how my day's gone. Got caught up in that situation and tried to not wreck anyone else, but unfortunately some other guys got caught up, and now just trying to repair damage.
So a lot of race left. Wish you best of luck on the restart here.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, Jesse Gordon will restart all the way back through the field as the pack works down the back straightaway here as we are 1 lap to green. Cotillo's hopes for a top 10 finish effectively have gone up in smoke with that, as you see him situated all the way deep in the field hours in front end damage. He did spend an extended period of time in the pits getting damage repairs. So we'll see if those repairs will mean anything to this race car, but for the time being, we work out of turn 4. Back to the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Nicholas Coe jumps on it. Well, Zach Hinson wasting no time going 3 wide into turn number 1 as he tries to attack Joey Bear and Cosmo Rhinosia. That's going to turn into an attack as well on Ronnie Norman. Way up the racetrack for the pack. Oh, and now the 97 nearly getting hooked sideways. Ronnie Norman remains firm up top. Norman trying to make some ground. Barrett slides up the racetrack hard into the outside wall. Joey Barrett slams the fence with bow ties, number 97. Looking like that car not too badly damaged. He's going to be able to try to gather it up and fight through it. But back in the pack, it's still a complete madhouse. Hudson now trying to go around the outside. He's going to clear Colton Easterday, and now looking to the inside for third on Justin Melilo. Oh, so close to the clear it out. Melilo out of turn 4. Hudson leaves from the lane, entering turn 1. Can he secure third? He's still alongside by about half a car length. Clears out of turn 2. Colton Easterday drops back to 5th, although he's not content to sit there. Melilo opens up the door, and Easterday down the inside of 3 and 4. Now back out of turn 4 to the front straightaway. Easterday trying to make ground. Oh, hold on! Getting up and into the door. We just heard Jess Gordon mentioning how tight it is when you're in the dirty air of a car into the wing, and Melilo finding out the harm as he gets fenced by the dirty air. Melilo trying to push to the back of the 95, and again, you see how tight that car gets. Ronnie Norman and Stephen Gibson continuing to battle it out amongst one another. Norman this time by. He clears Gibson. Gibson trying to look for the inside. Joey Barrett. All the way up to the outside wall. Norman and Gibson going to keep up the fight here as Norman clears up for the inside wall. Stephen Kirby battled it out with Justin Mello as Mello gonna go up and into the outside wall big time. No, that's Stephen Kirby starting into the outside wall. He rips it off the wall coming out of turn number 2. Norman has to check up. Gibson skates down low into turn 3. And Joey Barrett, after slamming the outside fence not too long ago, tries to now hunt to the inside of the Amsoil, number 32. Barrett, Norman, side by side. As we fight through turn 3, through turn 4. Cosman knows who wants to go. He's trying to look for the inside of Zach Hinson. And Plut's going to get up into the outside wall, but he gets it off the wall quickly. This race has been a war of attrition here in the opening half of this race, but drivers are still doing their best to try and put on a show regardless. Phillips, Scott, Zach Williams side by side. Williams just bounced off the apron and he's loose. Pulls it together. Garrett Austin unable to mount a realistic charge. Williams trying to secure. Not able to do it still, as Garrett Austin doing a phenomenal job on just playing defense up by the outside wall there. Try as well as may, he's not able to find a hole. Virtually every car back here in the field has been involved in damage of some sort. Towards the front, Colton Easterday continuing to have a relatively quiet night for Easterday so far. He's been here, he's been there, but he hasn't been getting into too much trouble this afternoon. Kirby, Gibson, Norman, and Moore all under a blanket, and problems. Caleb Bass having issues with the right-hand side of his race car. Look at all that damage on the right front there. Well, the wheel's still connected, it looks like, but something has clearly gone majorly awry for him. He does not have a meatball, but it does look like he might be making an attempt to come down pit road. Take a look on what happened here. Whoa, yes, hello. I'll back that one up just a little bit more here. Oh, kind of got forced up and in there. Jeez, that is a lick. Arabia Caton pushing him up into the wall. And then while that was going on, now we've had Stacy Hunter with a potential issue. This is coming down into turn 3. Philip Scott right behind her. Car's been loose in clean air. Oh, she gets loose. Or he gets loose, sorry. And the Denton County Carpet Collision number 71 makes a great save over in turn 4. Double file for a good chunk of drivers still, although they are starting to get slowly but surely trickled out to single. We are right now in our longest green flag run of the night. We started with 34 cars on the racetrack. We are down to just 24. We have lost about a third of the field in just the opening half of this race due to the amount of attrition that has fallen over the field. Kirby wants to go. He looks at the inside of Justin Mello. And Kirby going to slip through. Good drive there from Stephen Kirby as he's going to punch his ticket into a top 5. With how loosey-goosey these race cars have been in the opening 50, 60 laps or so, you have to wonder when's the next incident going to come into play. We've come close a few times on this run, but they're looking like they're able to kind of sort it out amongst themselves. Oh, pollute into the outside wall as Joey Barrett didn't leave him a lot of room to work with. Like he got tight, and he gets tight again. Watch out for Zach Hinson. Right behind in the midst of the battle. At this point, pretty much everybody has been down to pit road at least once this race for fresh tires and fuel. A lot of them most recently coming down about 30 laps ago. Some, though, 20 laps ago. So pit stop. Whoa, hold on. Zach Williams way down to the inside. Big loose moment off too, but he's able to gather it up. So again, a lot of drivers here, they've been having a bit of a rough ride so far. Pit strategy so far, I think we're going to be seeing drivers pinning in well past the halfway point. It's one of the cases, right? If you're doing all right now, why take a chance? This field coming off a relatively clean race at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway that went green for about 70 laps when we got our first yellow flag. It's not been nearly as clean so far tonight at the Kansas Speedway, but again, it sounds like a lot of this can be blamed on the setup of the car, less so than the actual drivers. Again, these guys do run the iRacing fixed baseline setups, which means sometimes you get a bit of a wild card race, like how Kansas Speedway has been so far. Whoa, hold on. Ronnie Norman gets into the door of Justin Mello, pushes him up the racetrack. Field is able to slip through. Mostly single file all the way back throughout this pack here. We are well into this green flag run, and at this point, gearing up for a potential run straight through the halfway marker here tonight. Checking in once more on the weather, seeing how things are developing as we are right now just about 5:30 p.m. in the evening local time in Sim. Wind is starting to pick up a little bit. It was relatively calm winds earlier on, no breeze at all virtually, but now we see up to 8 miles an hour of winds blowing off to the northeast. So the wind is starting to pick up. There's quite a bit of humidity in the air as well, which I'd imagine is not helping matters. Philip Scott up towards the outside wall as he tries to hold on against Stan Hausman. Hausman now trying to look back for the inside line. And, well, Scott able to clear things up. Colton Easterday and Cosman Inoshu battled it out as Easterday caught the outside wall, and now Inoshu screaming to the inside of the Mentor in turn one. Inoshu gets through for fourth place here. Easterday gets through as well. Stephen Kirby now trying to go up and around the outside wall as Kirby nearly gets up and into the fence. He saw some sparks fly as he kicked some marbles into it, but so far Kirby retains that sixth place position. And, well, we are well past the halfway point here this afternoon. So, thanks to more of the folks that keep the lights on here for the Highline Diecast Collectible Speed Cup Series. At Ryan Newman & Associates, powered by RE/MAX Select, they believe that finding your dream home should be an exciting and seamless experience. Serving all of Michigan, their dedicated team brings years of expertise and commitment to personalized professional service that makes buying or selling the home simple and stress-free. Whether you're a first-time buyer, seasoned investor, or looking anywhere in the United States, they can help by referring you to top professionals across the country. Trust Ryan Newman & Associates to guide you every step of the way. Your future starts there. Go make it a reality. And by Beer Street Journal, one of the largest online collections of original content dedicated to covering beer culture, education, and the advancement of the beer industry, as Martin Plute goes screaming into the infield grass and looking like he is going to be able to pull it up. We'll look at that more in just a moment. With thousands of articles, millions of unique visitors, and exposure in over 200 countries, Beer Street Journal is paving the way to enabling category growth, engaging the product consumer base, and promoting better tasting beer for years to come. BeerStreetJournal.com, the best in beer. And by bow ties. Want an easy to wear bow tie? No tie, no strapping. Just slide it over the top and go. Great for all ages. Get yours today at bowties.org. Well, a bit of a close call there from Martin Plute. Take a look at this one here as Plute is going to come around here through 3 and 4, and the back end just going to come around on him, like we have seen happen so many times today, and slides into the infield grass. Well, Plute able to once again gather things up. Whoa, hold on! And he's loose now again as he comes down the pit road, and that is going to cause him to get black flagged on the way into pit road, and I can't say I'm terribly surprised on what happened there. So Plute going to be taking an extended trip in pit road after that fiasco. Well, Nicholas Cote has got Kyle Holden breathing down his neck. Holden has been looking to run him down the last several laps here. You take a look at the lap times between the two, and I mean, Kyle Holden was reeling them in, and now it's kind of stalled, but that's more because he's actually gotten to the back of Nicholas Cote now. Trying to find a way through, but Kansas Speedway has not been very kind to the field. Holden is able to keep things pulled together. Coe going to keep up the battle. Further behind, Ronnie Norman and Justin Mello might be trying to have a go at it as Ronnie Norman all the way up to the outside wall. Mello down to the inside. And Mello's going to clear him, so Ronnie Norman not able to have a lunge for the 8th place spot. And Jeremiah Vincent going to lose it entering pit road, and he is going to get caught for speeding on the way in. Jeremiah Vincent loses the tail end on the way into his box, and he is, like others, going to be taking an extended stay in pit road. Take a look. Just spent down to the flat here. Back it starts to twitch, and eventually it locks the rears in, around it goes. Brake bias seems to be all over the place with the race cars here this afternoon. And now Norman pushed up into the outside wall by Justin Mello. Norman forces a hole, though, when he gets through. Nicholas Cote, Kyle Holden now still trying to go side by side for the lead at least. Kyle Holden all the way up to the outside wall. Looking to get some momentum working with him, but Cote has been very, very firmly in here this afternoon. As let's remind ourselves how things are situated at the moment for the next little while. Oh, hold on. Kyle Holden now losing control as he's going to slip back to second. Oh, sorry, he's not slipping back to second place. That was Martin Plute unlapping himself as Plute, remember, just came down pit road and now able to wrangle the pack back together. Good effort for him. So, Minazzi Major was the points leader in the midseason tournament entering tonight. He is down pit road. He is done for the night after a violent crash in turn one. JC Garcias was the next closest contender. He's not here. Ryan Shelton was a contender. He's done for the night. He was the first retiree of this race. Steven Gibson would be the next driver up, but Gibson is all the way back in the 10th place spot. Nicholas Cote right now, the race leader, the current points leader here in the midseason tournament, and looking to score a $50 Highline Diecast Collectibles gift card. Speaking of Gibson, he's coming into pit road. He's got Justin Mello with him. Both cars successfully hit pit road. So Gibson, Mello, both going at it here as, hello, Cote now trying to get a run going with Kyle Holden. Kyle Holden now trying to see if he's got a run going on him here. Cosmo Inoshu sits right behind as this three-way fight for the lead remains a hotly contested one. Corey Hutchinson is down pit road. Now this fight for lead not going away anytime soon, but with drivers starting to make their way down into the pits, we could very well be seeing the race leaders coming down before too long as well. Holden's got a run. Is the run going to be enough this time? As he tries to run down Nicholas Cote again, he picks the outside line, going for that clean air. Joey Bear makes his way in. Although Barrett's entry looking like it was far from a clean one. And yep, sure was. He locked the rears coming down into the pits. And now Cosmo Inoshu has spun it! Never mind, he has not spun it. I am mistaken. I mistook the speed going down to zero as Inoshu spinning out. That was him entering his pit stall. False alarm. He did not spin. And we're still green. Kyle Holden makes his way into the box. Stephen Kirby will look to do the same. Colton Easterday comes in as well. Garrett Austin, Stan Housen also hitting pit road. Stacy Hunter on his way in. So here we go. Pit stops are kicking off for everybody in the field. Several drivers still making their way in and out of pit road for service. 4 tires and fuel is going to be the call for everybody in this field. And I would be shocked if anybody did anything different, and not in a good way. One by one, drivers continue to cycle on through the box. Several drivers with long stops. Colton Easterday, Garrett Austin, Stacy Hunter, all with very, very long pit stops here. This pit stop cycle for the first green flag stops of the night. Why we're seeing these long stops, I don't know. They don't have penalties. Either damage repairs or they just opted to call it quits. There we see Eric Hudson and Nicholas Coates, both in the pits. And Coate off the jacks. He is going to make his way back out to the racetrack. Cosman Inoshu drives around him, and Inoshu will become the new net race leader. Nicholas Coates will have fresh tires to try and run him down by 3 laps at that. Plenty of racing action still yet to go here from the Kansas Speedway. We are going to take ourselves a quick step back. When we return, racing action resumes here at the Kansas Speedway. Stay with us.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV, where racing action remains a hotly contested field here at the Kansas Speedway. If you're just tuning in, my name is Little Rambo, bringing you all of racing action from what has been one of the weirder races of the season here for the Highline Diecast Collectibles Speed Cup Series. Seconds ago, you saw Zach Hinson have quite the moment over in turn number 3. This is a look on board of the helmet camera. Hinson is just going to lose the back end entering turn 3. Gets a bit of a helping hand from behind there, courtesy of Steven Gibson, and kept fighting the race car all the way down into the grass and glances off the inside wall before making it into pit road. Kyle Holden has been really trying to run down Cosmo Inosh for the lead of the race so far. And I mean, a 10.5 gain, just 3 laps to go. Holden's momentum is kind of stalled out. He is only on 1 lap fresher tires, of course, the Cosmo Inosh. Nicholas Coates critically is closing in as well. And I think it's more, at this point, Nicholas Coates that I know she's got him worried about, because he just closed in about half a second in the span, or a quarter of a second, sorry, in the span of just 1 lap. So Nicholas Coates on several lap pressure tires. Slowly but surely running down the front runners. Black flag on the day for Martin Plute as he makes his way into the box, and he is going to bring his car behind the wall. Tough day at the office for Martin Plute. And now Nicholas Coates, he's got a run going on Kyle Holden. Holden having to worry a lot more about defense all of a sudden. Trying to use dirty air to keep Coates behind, taking a wider line in, refusing to let him get a sniff of that clean air. And you can see how much that's tightened up Coates' race car and holding them back from Cosmo Inosh. We've got 30 laps to go, or under 30 laps to go now. Coming up on Green Flag TV, the Zero Torque Racing League kicks off their action tomorrow night for the Clash at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. That is followed up by the SRA Gen 4 Series at Michigan International Speedway. That'll be on Saturday night. Both of those races at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. The Classic IndyCar Series is back for more. They will be at the Long Beach Street Circuit alongside the Blazing Pedals ARCA Series down at Bristol Motor Speedway. And then it is the Mid-Atlantic Racing Series back to Iowa Speedway on Tuesday night alongside the OMSRO Gold Series presented by Sim Racer Hub at Darlington. And then the Premier Sim Racing Outlaw Motorsports Truck Series will be closing out the first round of playoff competition at the Charlotte Roval next Wednesday. All of this and more coming up in the next few days or so, and over the weekend, we'll be publishing the October broadcast schedule as well. Quite a few leagues starting off pretty soon here. Of course, ZTRL will be making their entry to the roster. We will, of course, have the Premier Pilot Series jumping on board. And the potential of another new Sunday series as well. We'll keep you posted on more of those updates as they come about. Meanwhile, Nicholas Coates clearing up from Kyle Holden. Holden still has not been able to close up the Inosh, but critically he has also been keeping Nicholas Coates behind. So Coates right now, as Coates catches the wall, might not be able to contend realistically for a race win. What about Joey Barrett? How's Joey Barrett doing? He's right now fighting with Jesse Gordon for 9th on the racetrack. So these two drivers going to keep going at it here for the next little while. Barrett continuing to keep up a decent fight here with Jesse Gordon. Really wanted to have a go at him as well, coming around through turn 3 and 4, but it does look like Joey Barrett is actually starting to pull away just a bit. So that's going to work out rather well for Barrett. One battle starting to close up. Stephen Kirby thinking about maybe wanting to have an effort on Justin Mello. Even on 20-lap bolt tires, still punching above 190 miles an hour down the straights. Faster than qualifying speeds at super speedways like Daytona and Talladega, and perhaps even the Echo Park Speedway. It's been fascinating all day long to see the different lines developing as this race has gone along. I mean, you see Stephen Kirby, right? He's really working the outside line, really wants to try and use that to get a run going here on Justin Mello. Oh, but he's into the wall that time by. That's going to stack him up a little bit here, and he's going to lose that run that he had down the back straightaway as a result. That sun about to start becoming a problem as well for drivers out of turn 4. In fact, I think it might already be starting to be a little bit of an issue. We've now spent a few laps on board with Kirby and his bid to try and run down Justin Mello. Only one race to go in the regular series season. And it is going to be at the 50-lap dinghy dash by WTFMT at the Roval. That'll be at Charlotte Motor Speedway next week. The final race of the regular series season and the lone road course race remaining. And then a 5-race chase of the Cup among the top 10 in the points. Started off at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on October 9th, followed up by the Dega Triple Play. It'll be an 80-lap run to Talladega Super Speedway on October 16th, followed by a 160-lap run at the Martinsville Speedway. Boy, the biggest, baddest track of the circuit down to the paper clip. Talk about a combination and a half right there. Phoenix Raceway will be the second to last race, and then we close things out at Homestead Miami Speedway for the lone race in November for the Speed Cup Series, and that could very well spell an end to the 2025 season all around for him. Plenty of racing action still left here in this one. Look at Tim Branson trying to run down Nick Cotilla, and Branson has been steadily reeling in Cotilla here. In fact, closes in just one more as well. So Tim Branson going to be having to really battle through this one. Gap closed at about 0.2 of a second, but he has not really been able to close much more than that. You see him actually trying to follow Nick Cotilla down the inside. But still not enough of a run to really have a good lunge. Kirby's got a momentum run here. Hello, Justin Mello under fire. Kirby around the top, trying to keep the momentum going with that outside charge. Oh, but he's into the fence again. Sooner or later, he's going to have to try to just send it down the inside. He's not going to really be able to complete this pass up top. Well, we'll ride on board to Stephen Kirby for a few laps and see if he can get the job done for fourth. Well, Stephen Kirby had the run that was closing in more and more and more, and finally he was able to pull the trigger and sling one down the inside of Justin Mello, who, well, trying to chase him down, just caught the outside wall. All things considered, we had a pretty long green flag run in this race. Our latest caution came a good ways back in the race now, way back at about lap 36. So we've been running a good chunk of this race green. Kind of an opposite of New Hampshire Motor Speedway, right? New Hampshire ran a long green flag run, and it kind of fell apart in the back 20 laps. This time we had a bit of a caution fest in the first 30 laps, and then we were able to go green the rest of the way, or at least for now. There is still time for there to be one big shakeup here. 34 cars started this race, only 22 are on the racetrack, and out of those, only 14 are on the lead lap. Kind of laying the picture to just how brutal the attrition this race has been. Cosmo Nanoshu has been steadily pulling away with the lead in the Tiltify Camry, running the old Rainbow Warriors scheme that Jeff Gordon used to run back in the 2000s and the 90s. I remember when I saw that car a lot back when I watched the occasional NASCAR race back in the 2000s, and only thing I ever thought of for when I saw that car, Skittles. Only thing I ever thought about. I know it takes 5 laps to go. He'll take 4 to go, and it is looking to be a walk-off win for Cosmonine Oshue. A driver that took a bit to kind of find his footing and get that first race win, but slowly but surely he's been racking them up over the last little while. Oshue would be chasing his 4th win of his career, and it would be win number 3 in a row, going for the hat trick after going at Bristol Motor Speedway, the Magic Mile, and then at the Kansas Speedway. Oshue has really found a second wind, so to speak, in the race car, as he will take 2 to go. Ronnie Norman looking to attack Justin Mello to get into a top 5 here to close out his afternoon. Question is he able to find a hole? He's going to go around the outside and try for it. Mello's just burned all of his equipment up. He doesn't have the pace down on the bottom side that he needs. Ronnie Norman able to clear from up top. Yes, he does. So Norman shoots for the bottom, while Cosmonine Oshue going to be working the final lap through turn numbers 1 and 2. The Tiltify Camry has been on a solid night. He's going to come out of turn numbers 3 and 4. Cosmonine Oshue up 29 spots after he didn't qualify. It's a hat trick. Cosmonine Oshue, winner at Kansas. And just 3 seconds behind Nicholas Coate, the winner of $50 to Highline Diecast Collectibles as he wins the midseason tournament. What a win for, as we've had an issue on the final lap here, as Nate Cotilla going to be sent bouncing over to the line as Scott Tim Branson trying to look to his inside. This is on the final lap, and just cut right across the nose of Branson. Nothing that Branson really did wrong there. Good save, and he's going to be resigned to a 13th place finish. But Cosmonine Oshue burning it down here on the front straightaway. His 3rd win in a row. And Oshue has found a second win. Can anyone stop him at the road pole? Long, smoky burnout here for the number 24. You can tell he is very happy with this race win here this afternoon, as we'll take a rundown and show you your official post-race results here at the end of the night. Cosmonine Oshue, 3rd in a row. He goes and takes one away from Kyle Holt and Nicholas Coate down in 3rd. Stephen Kirby in 4th, and it's Ronnie Norman in 5th. Justin Mello in 6th. Gibson, Scott Barrett, and Hausman will close out the top 10. From there, Gordon, Branson, Cotilla, the last drivers on the lead lap, with Williams, Newman, Hinson, and Austin 1 lap down. Further back, it's Jeremiah Vincent, Stacey Hunter, Corey Hutchinson, Arabia Caton, Caleb Bass, Colton Easterday, Martin Plute, Eric Hudson, Ethan Amber, Josiah Vincent, Manatee Major, Jason Shue, Mark McFadden, Scott Lennon, Matt Montevo, Jeffrey Reed, and Ryan Shelton bring up the rear. A stellar race all throughout this field here, and we'll jump back and take a look on who finished where. We'll talk to the top 3 here at the end of a bit of a weird race coming out of the Kansas Speedway. Let's bring it up first and foremost with Cosmonine Oshue. Coming home, first place yet again. Cosman, it took you a while to find that first race win. It took you a while to find that second win, but you're now 3 in a row with a hat trick. Let's talk about a second win of your career here. I mean, what has been going on with that race car, and where have you found the pace?
It's only 2. I did not win Bristol. Just somebody else did that. I actually forgot who might have. Not Phillips. I took care of him early. Yeah, I have no idea. This race was supposed to just try to get points on the in-season tournament, and everybody got cleaned out in front of me. Like one by one, all my competitors in that got wiped out. So I have no idea if we scored enough points. I would be super happy if we did, because that would be cool. Because it was a drive to go from 30th to back up. Before pit stops, I could not pass. Like I got behind the 2 leaders, and in dirty air, I just had nothing. My tires were probably even with theirs because I had to go through. But after pit stops, I pitted 1 or 2 laps before them, and I was still saving tires. I was still saving tires up front. And I don't know, maybe they got into a battle with each other and held each other up, or they wasted most of their tires early on in the run, but they never got to me. I was expecting a battle for this, like for them to catch me. And then when the relatives just kept growing, I was like, oh, okay, maybe we can win this. Oh yeah, it was fun.
Well, let's talk about the in-season tournament now. Initially, just on outright points, it was looking like it was going to go the way of Nicholas Cope, but we're getting word in here that it looks like you are preliminarily the in-season tournament winner. And, of course, that would come out of all the passing points you got this afternoon, right? Plus 29 spots. That's 29 bonus points right there. How do you feel about potentially winning the $50 gift card for Highline Diecast Collectibles?
That would be so cool, because I could have had my start from the back at Darlington, but I didn't know that if I'd actually qualify, I would lose the right to the last place starting spot. Because Darlington was also a race where I started last and finished top 5. And that would have been a lot of points as well with no incidents. So, yeah. No, actually, there were enough incidents in Darlington now that I remember. But it will be awesome. I believe Stan is the one that puts that up. Thank you so much to him for doing that. It's an interesting points format, and if that were the real points format, we'd all be crashing each other more often in the back. And yeah, as I said, I have no idea how this happened. Like everybody just got wiped out in front of me. Just a lot of gifted positions.
Well, Cosman, back-to-back here this afternoon. You were the main series champion entering today as well, right? At least you had the points lead. Do you reckon you can hold on to that coming into the Roval in 1 week's time? And will we see an actual hat trick this time?
Well, next week we're starting from the back again. So the good news is there is a guaranteed yellow next week because it is a road course, if I'm not mistaken. So that will be fun to have to just survive again. I really need to look at the replay because every single wreck happened in front of me and somehow I got through it without any contact. I mean, I saw some cars flying in my mirror, I saw some cars flying ahead of me, and I was just weaving around them in the first 2 wrecks. So, just gotta thank the Lucky Stars, you know? And Tiltify, and John Peel, and Lucky Ducks, and everybody that put their logo on my car. I hope you guys enjoyed the Jeff Gordon car out front again, because I sure am.
Well, it's been bringing good luck so far. We'll see if you'll have more luck next week in North Carolina. Congratulations on potentially winning the in-season tournament, and we'll see you next week for the regular series finale.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here, and hope you guys had fun.
I know she comes home number 1 this afternoon. We'll bring it up for Kyle Holden here into the broadcast booth. Kyle, a bit of a weird one tonight. You were looking to be right up there with Cosmo Inoshi. You were within half a second. You were battling, though, with Nicholas Cote, and eventually you ended up slipped back, losing the draft. What happened there in the final 30?
Yeah, I think we tried to push it a little too hard at the beginning of the run to try to catch up to Cosman, as we had a really, really bad pit entry, really slow. So that's how he got around us, and then we were just pushing really hard to try to get up to there and then try to save, but as soon as you get in that dirty air, you can't really do much. I tried going high when you saw in the second stint or the first stint with Nicholas, and you couldn't get any air on the splitter. Just car wouldn't keep turning. You'd have to just keep off the throttle to get it to turn. So couldn't really do much with passing. Other than that, though, it was a pretty good race.
Well, all things considered, it's still a good day at the office for you. Your best finish so far this season in number 2. this race was just strange all around, especially when it came down to when we're talking about situations like what was happening with the setup tonight. I mean, it was tight and then it was loose. We talked to Jesse Gordon about it earlier on. It seemed like, though, like people figured it out a little bit later. Were there changes being made in the car, or was it just figuring out what it wanted to do?
I think a little bit just figuring out like your throttle points and how it works. But a lot of it is just putting rubber on the track and makes the car go quicker, and temperatures falling. So as that falls and track grips up a little bit more and you get more rubber on the track, you can go a little bit faster and you get a little more confidence. But yeah, it was kind of tricky to start off with. If you let off that throttle too early and all the way, you were just, the front end just wanted to turn left and just keep going down the track. So you had to really be really cautious to try to save your tire enough, but also not just overdrive the turn.
Wish you the best of luck when we go racing once again in a week's time. Congratulations on taking home number 2, and we'll see you again at the Roval.
Appreciate it.
Kyle Holden comes home number 2 this afternoon. And now we're bringing Nicholas Cote, the driver who we thought was going to be the in-season tournament champion after this one. But Nick, you got bested by the passing points. I know you're going from back to front here this afternoon, but a good day at the office, and with a lot of contention being taken out, you still end up second at the in-season tournament. How do you feel after that performance?
It was good. It was a fun race. I was debating halfway through qualifying whether to start in the back for the passing points or qualify, and I went with qualify. Got the pole, and thought I was in pretty good shape until I saw Cosman coming, my relative, for like 10 laps before we pitted, and then it just came down. Whoever pitted first between me and Kyle and him was going to probably win the race. In hindsight, I probably should have stayed out a little bit longer for better tires at the end, but dirty air, I don't even think it would have worked. But all in all, fun race.
You kind of talk about that pit strategy here a little bit. You mentioned hindsight being 2020. You think you maybe should have stayed out. Do you think maybe even pitting early on the Cosman would have altered the impact at all?
I think Cosman is just so good in general with saving tires and anything. I think he could have gotten me if I pitted earlier than him. But I mean, could have tried it. Maybe it would have worked.
Well, Nick, next week is the Roval. It's going to be another fun one, no doubt, coming up in just a little while. Congratulations here on taking third, and, well, we'll wish you the best of luck in the regular series finale and see if you can race your way to the chase.
Sounds good. Have a good night.
Nicholas Cote comes home third this afternoon, and, well, that is going to be it for us here on Green Flag TV. Another stellar outing here for the Highline Diecast Collectible Speed Cup Series. When they return next week, it's going to be for the regular series finale at the Roval at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. There's still more action, though, still yet to come as well in the midst of all of this as we take a look at what's coming up here on Green Flag TV. You got the Zero Toy Racing League kicking off with the Clash tomorrow night on Friday. They will be coming at us here 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time alongside the SRA Gen 4 Series in Michigan on Saturday night. Classic IndyCar Series is back for more of the Long Beach Street Circuit there alongside the Blazing Pedals Arctic Series at Bristol Motor Speedway on Sunday. And then it's the Mid-Atlantic Racing Series back for more at Iowa. In the meantime, if you want to find out more about who we are and what we can offer you, check us out today at www.greenflagtv.com. As always, my name is Vanilla Rempel. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you all when we go racing. See who's in and who's out of the chase next week at America's Home for Motorsports.